The flash of the camera captured 6-year-old Lily's gleeful expression as she blew out the candles on her princess-themed birthday cake. Kate Hartman smiled at the perfect shot, the birthday girl's eyes sparkling with joy, surrounded by her friends in party hats. As a professional photographer who specialized in children's events, Kate had developed a knack for catching those fleeting moments of pure childhood happiness. What she hadn't caught, however, was the tall man standing at the edge of the frame, watching her with undisguised interest. "That was amazing," Lily's mother, Deanne, exclaimed, peering over Kate's shoulder at the camera's display. "You really have a gift with children." "Thanks," Kate replied, adjusting her camera strap. "It helps that Lily's so photogenic." As Kate moved through the backyard party, capturing candid shots of the children playing games and parents chatting, she remained oblivious to the attention she was receiving from one particular guest. "Excuse me," a deep voice said from behind her. Kate turned to find herself looking up at a man with dark hair and striking blue eyes. He was dressed casually in jeans and a button-down shirt that did little to hide his athletic build, but there was something about his posture that suggested authority. "I'm Adam Jensen, Lily's uncle," he said, extending his hand. "I've been watching you work. You've got a real talent, Kate Hartman," she replied, shaking his hand and feeling an unexpected flutter in her chest. "And thank you, I love what I do." "It shows," Adam said, his gaze holding hers a moment longer than necessary. "Deanne says you're the best children's photographer in the city." Kate felt herself blushing. "That's very kind of her, Uncle Adam," Lily called, running over and launching herself into his arms. "Did you see my cake?" "It has a real crown on it." "I did, Princess," Adam laughed, scooping her up effortlessly. "It's the perfect cake for a perfect birthday girl." Kate raised her camera instinctively, capturing the genuine affection between uncle and niece. The tender moment made her smile. There was something disarmingly attractive about a man who showed such obvious love for his family. "Sorry to interrupt," Adam said, setting Lily down as she ran off to rejoin her friends, "but I'd love to see some of the photos when you're done." "Of course," Kate nodded. "I'll send everything to your sister after I've edited them." "Actually," Adam reached into his pocket and pulled out a business card. "I'd like to see them personally if that's all right, maybe over coffee." Kate took the card, noting the minimalist design that simply read Adam Jensen with a phone number. No title, no company name. She assumed he was just a proud uncle who wanted photos of his niece. "I'll think about it," she replied with a small smile, tucking the card into her camera bag. For the rest of the party, Kate found herself increasingly aware of Adam's presence. He helped serve cake, organized games, and made all the children laugh with his animated storytelling. Several times, she caught him looking her way, and each time her heart did a little flip. When the party wound down and parents began collecting their tired, sugar-crashed children, Kate started packing her equipment. She had 3 more events scheduled that weekend, and editing Lily's birthday photos would take most of her Sunday evening. "Need help with that?" Adam appeared at her side as she struggled with her lighting stand. "I've got it, thanks," Kate said automatically, then reconsidered as the stand refused to collapse properly. "Actually, if you wouldn't mind." Adam stepped in, his hands expertly finding the release mechanism and folding the stand in one smooth motion. "You've done this before," Kate observed. Adam shrugged. "I've been around a lot of photo shoots." Before Kate could ask what he meant, Deanne approached, her arms full of leftover party favors. "Kate, thank you so much for today. The kids loved you and I can't wait to see the photos." "It was my pleasure," Kate replied sincerely. "Lily's a sweetheart." "She adores her Uncle Adam," Deanne said with a meaningful glance between them. "He's very particular about who he spends time with, you know." "Deanne," Adam warned, though his tone was light. "What? I'm just making conversation," his sister replied innocently before turning back to Kate. "He's single, by the way." "And leaving now," Adam said, rolling his eyes. "Kate, it was lovely meeting you." "You too," she replied, surprised by her own disappointment at his departure. As Kate drove home to her small apartment, Adam's business card seemed to burn a hole in her camera bag. There was something intriguing about him beyond his obvious good looks. The way the children had responded to him spoke of genuine kindness, and Kate had always believed you could tell a lot about a person by how they treated kids. Monday morning found Kate in her tiny home studio, editing the photos from Lily's party. She'd captured some beautiful moments. Lily's face lit by candles, children laughing during a game of musical chairs, parents watching fondly. But she found herself lingering on the shots that included Adam, his gentle handling of his niece, his animated expressions as he told stories, the quiet moments when he thought no one was watching. Against her better judgment, Kate pulled out Adam's card. Her finger hovered over her phone for a moment before she decisively typed out a text. "This is Kate Hartman from Lily's party. I've finished editing some preview images. Coffee still on the table?" She hit send before she could change her mind, then tried to focus on her editing. Not 5 minutes later, her phone chimed. "Absolutely. How about Riverside Cafe at 2 p.m.? Kate smiled at his prompt response. At least he wasn't playing games. "See you there," she replied, then spent the next 3 hours questioning her choice of outfit, her makeup, and whether she was being entirely professional. Riverside Cafe was a charming spot overlooking the city's river walk. Kate arrived 10 minutes early, a folder of printed preview photos tucked under her arm. She chose a table by the window and ordered a latte, trying to calm her inexplicable nerves. Adam arrived precisely at 2, dressed in a tailored gray suit that made Kate suddenly conscious of her casual blouse and jeans. He smiled warmly as he approached. "I came straight from a meeting," he explained, noting her glance at his attire. "I hope I'm not overdressed." "No, you look." Kate hesitated. "Very professional." Adam laughed, a rich sound that made several heads turn. "That's one way of putting it. What are you drinking? I'll get the same." When he returned with his coffee, Kate had the photos spread on the table. "These are just previews," she explained. "I'll deliver the full set to Deanne digitally, but I thought you might like to see some hard copies." Adam sat beside her rather than across, their shoulders nearly touching as he leaned in to examine the photos. His cologne was subtle but masculine, and Kate found it difficult to focus on her own work. "These are exceptional," Adam said, pausing on a candid shot of Lily with chocolate frosting on her nose. "You've captured her personality perfectly." "She's a natural in front of the camera," Kate replied. "Some kids freeze up or pose too much, but Lily just shines." Adam smiled softly. "She's the light of my life. Her father's not in the picture, so I try to be there for her as much as possible." "That's really admirable," Kate said sincerely. "She obviously adores you." "The feeling's mutual," Adam replied, then turned to another photo, one of him reading a story to a circle of captivated children. "I didn't realize you'd caught this." "It was a beautiful moment," Kate said. "The way you engaged with them was, well, it makes for authentic photography." Adam studied her face for a moment. "You really love what you do, don't you?" "I do," Kate nodded. "I was working in corporate photography before product shoots, executive headshots. It paid well, but it felt soulless. Children are honest. When they smile, it's real." "I understand completely," Adam said. "That's actually why I wanted to meet with you." Kate felt a flicker of disappointment. So this wasn't a social invitation after all, he had a professional interest. "I'm looking for a photographer for the Jensen Foundation's upcoming charity gala," Adam continued. "We support after-school programs for underprivileged children, and your style would be perfect for capturing the spirit of our work." "The Jensen Foundation." Kate repeated, the name suddenly registering. The Jensen Foundation was one of the largest charitable organizations in the city, known for its generous support of educational initiatives. "Wait, you're that Jensen?" Adam's smile turned slightly sheepish. "I should have been clearer." "I'm the CEO of Jensen Industries. The foundation is our philanthropic arm." Kate blinked, memories of news articles and magazine features suddenly flooding back. "Adam Jensen. 34-year-old CEO who had transformed his father's manufacturing company into a global enterprise with a focus on sustainable development. His net worth was estimated in the billions. I had no idea," she stammered, suddenly seeing their interaction in a new light. "Why didn't you say anything at the party?" "Because for once, someone was treating me like a normal person," Adam admitted. "Not as a potential investor or business connection or eligible bachelor, just as Lily's uncle." Kate felt her cheeks warm. "I'm sorry, I should have recognized you." "Please don't apologize," Adam said earnestly. "It was refreshing, and your photos." He tapped the one of him and Lily. "These captured something real. That's why I think you'd be perfect for the foundation event." "I'm flattered," Kate said honestly, "but I specialize in children's photography. Corporate events aren't really my thing anymore." "This isn't your typical corporate event," Adam insisted. "There will be plenty of children from our programs there. I'm not asking you to take boring photos of adults informal, where though I suspect even those wouldn't be boring if you took them." Kate laughed. "You're very persuasive, Mr. Jensen." "Adam," he corrected. "And is it working?" "I'll consider it," Kate replied, gathering the photos. "Send me the details and I'll let you know." As they parted ways outside the cafe, Adam held her gaze a moment longer than necessary. "This was nice. Business aside, I'd like to do it again sometime." Kate found herself nodding before her brain could process the implications. "I'd like that too." That night, Kate researched Adam Jensen thoroughly. Articles described him as brilliant, innovative, and intensely private. There were few photos of him at social events and no gossip about his romantic life, which was unusual for someone of his status and appearance. The more she read, the more intrigued she became. The next morning, an email arrived with details about the Jensen Foundation Gala, along with a surprisingly generous fee offer. Kate was tempted to accept immediately, but a nagging voice in her head warned about mixing business with whatever was developing between them. After 2 days of deliberation, she called the number on his business card. "Kate," Adam answered on the second ring, sounding genuinely pleased. "I was hoping you'd call." "About the gala," she began, trying to sound professional. "I'd be happy to photograph it, but I want to be clear about something first." "Go on," Adam said, his tone becoming more formal. "If I accept this job, it has to be strictly professional." The coffee the other day felt like something else might have been on the table. There was a pause and Kate held her breath. "You're right," Adam finally said. "I had a dual purpose in meeting you, and that wasn't fair. The foundation genuinely needs a photographer with your talent, but I also wanted to see you again. If you'd prefer to keep things strictly professional, I understand completely." Kate hadn't expected such candor. "Thank you for being honest, always," Adam replied. "So will you take the job?" "Yes," Kate decided, "but maybe we could discuss the details over dinner instead of coffee next time." She could hear the smile in his voice as he responded, "I'd like that very much." They met at an upscale restaurant the following evening. Kate had splurged on a new dress, a deep blue that complemented her eyes, and felt a surge of satisfaction at Adam's appreciative glance when she arrived. "You look beautiful," he said simply. "Thank you," Kate replied. "You clean up pretty well yourself." Adam had reserved a private table in a quiet corner, and as they settled in, Kate found herself relaxing despite the luxurious surroundings. There was something about Adam that put her at ease. He carried his wealth and power lightly, seemingly more interested in her stories than in talking about himself. "So how did you get into photography?" he asked after they'd ordered. "My grandfather gave me my first camera when I was 12, Kate explained. "He was an amateur photographer, traveled all over taking landscapes. I started with nature shots, but found I preferred people, especially children. They're so unguarded." "Unlike adults," Adam observed. "Especially in my world, everyone's carefully presenting an image." "Is that why you wanted someone who didn't recognize you?" At Lily's party, Adam considered this. "Partly, but mostly I liked how you saw things. You weren't just taking pictures, you were capturing moments, emotions." "That's the highest compliment you could give me," Kate said softly. As dinner progressed, their conversation flowed effortlessly from photography to childhood memories, favorite books, and travel dreams. Kate found herself drawn to Adam's intelligence and dry humor, while he seemed fascinated by her passionate views on art and education. "Tell me about your foundation," Kate said as they shared a dessert. "What made you focus on after-school programs?" Adam's expression turned thoughtful. "When I was a kid, my parents worked constantly. I was often alone after school and I got into some trouble, nothing serious but enough to worry them. When my father's business took off, he made sure I had activities and mentors. Not every child has that opportunity." "That's really admirable," Kate said sincerely. "Using your success to address something personal to you. It's the most meaningful part of what I do," Adam admitted. "The business pays the bills and employs thousands of people, which matters, but the foundation, that changes lives." By the time Adam walked Kate to her car, the professional pretense of their dinner had completely dissolved. Standing beside her modest sedan, Kate felt suddenly self-conscious about the disparity in their lives. "I had a wonderful time," Adam said, standing closer than strictly necessary. "So did I," Kate replied, looking up at him. "But Adam, I have to ask, what are we doing here? You're a billionaire CEO and I'm a children's photographer who lives in a one-bedroom apartment." Adam's expression softened. "I'm also a man who hasn't connected with someone the way I've connected with you in. Well, maybe ever." He reached out, his fingers gently tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. "Does the rest matter?" Kate's heart raced. "It might. Your world is very different from mine." "Then show me your world," Adam suggested. "And I'll show you mine. If they don't fit together, at least we'll know we tried." Before she could respond, he leaned down and kissed her softly. Kate's doubts momentarily vanished as she returned the kiss, her hands finding their way to his shoulders. When they parted, Adam's eyes were warm. "Think about it. No pressure, no expectations, just think about it." Kate nodded, unable to find words as he opened her car door for her. As she drove home, her lips still tingling from their kiss, she wondered what she was getting herself into. The weeks leading up to the gala were a whirlwind. Adam respected Kate's need to maintain professional boundaries while they worked together, but their planning meetings inevitably extended into dinners, walks along the river, and increasingly personal conversations. Kate found herself sharing dreams she'd never voiced aloud, while Adam revealed vulnerabilities behind his successful facade. 3 days before the gala, Adam invited Kate to the Jensen Industries headquarters to finalize the event layout. The imposing glass building downtown was a far cry from her cozy studio, and Kate felt out of place as security escorted her to the executive floor. Adam's office was surprisingly understated, spacious but functional, with large windows overlooking the city and walls decorated with children's artwork from foundation programs rather than expensive art. "This isn't what I expected," Kate admitted, examining a colorful drawing of what appeared to be a robot family. "What did you expect? Gold-plated staplers?" Adam teased, joining her by the wall. "Maybe one," Kate joked back. "Seriously, though, it's more human than I imagined." "I spend most of my waking hours here," Adam shrugged. "It should feel comfortable, not ostentatious." As they reviewed the event's space blueprints spread across Adam's conference table, their heads bent close together, Kate became acutely aware of his proximity. His hand occasionally brushed hers as they discussed optimal camera positions, sending little currents of electricity through her. "I think we've covered everything," Adam finally said, straightening. "Are you sure you don't want an assistant for this event? I'm happy to hire one." "I work better alone," Kate insisted. "I can move through crowds more discreetly that way." Adam studied her face. "You're nervous about this, aren't you?" Kate sighed. "A little. These are your colleagues, your investors, your social circle. I'm worried about measuring up." "Kate," Adam said gently, taking her hands in his. "You were hired because you're exceptional at what you do. No one else's opinion matters, even yours," she challenged. "Especially mine," he confirmed. "And I already think you're remarkable." The warmth in his eyes made Kate's reservations melt away. When he kissed her this time, there was nothing tentative about it. His arms encircled her waist, drawing her against him as she wound her fingers into his hair. They were both breathing hard when they separated. "Sorry," Adam said, not looking sorry at all. "I've been wanting to do that again since our dinner." "Me too," Kate admitted. "But Adam, I'm still not sure how this can work. Our lives are so different. Give me a chance to show you we're not," Adam requested. "After the gala." "No work, no distractions, just us." Kate found herself nodding. "Okay." The night of the gala arrived, and Kate approached it with professional determination. The venue was transformed into an elegant celebration of the Foundation's work, with displays showcasing children's achievements and testimonials from program participants. Kate moved through the crowd unobtrusively, capturing genuine moments amid the glamour. Though Adam was clearly in his element, confidently speaking with donors and graciously accepting accolades for the Foundation's work, Kate noticed how his eyes sought her out periodically across the room. Each time their gazes met, she felt that now familiar flutter in her chest. Halfway through the evening, Kate found herself photographing a demonstration by children from the Foundation's robotics program. She was so focused on capturing their excited expressions that she didn't notice Adam approaching until he was beside her. "They're amazing, aren't they?" he said quietly, nodding toward the children. "Incredible," Kate agreed, lowering her camera. "That little girl in the red dress just explained programming concepts I barely understand," Adam chuckled. "Mia, she's been in our program for 2 years. Started out so shy she wouldn't look anyone in the eye. Now she's teaching the older kids." The pride in his voice made Kate look at him more closely. "You know all their names, don't you?" "Of course," Adam replied, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. "They're the reason for all of this." Before Kate could respond, a distinguished older couple approached. "Adam, darling," the woman exclaimed. "What a wonderful event, Mrs. Thornton," Adam greeted her warmly. "Mr. Thornton, thank you for coming. May I introduce Kate Hartman?" "She's documenting the evening." Kate extended her hand, suddenly aware of Mrs. Thornton's appraising gaze. "Lovely to meet you, dear," the woman said. "I don't believe we've seen you at these functions before." "This is my first time working with the Foundation," Kate explained. "Kate specializes in capturing authentic moments," Adam added, his hand lightly touching the small of her back. "She has an exceptional eye." "I'm sure she does," Mrs. Thornton replied with a knowing smile. "Adam has always had excellent taste." After they moved on, Kate raised an eyebrow at Adam. "Subtle. The Thorntons have known me since I was in diapers," Adam explained with a slight grimace. "Nothing gets past Evelyn, but don't worry, her approval is actually a good thing. She's rejected every woman she's ever seen me with until now." "I'm not sure if that's reassuring or terrifying," Kate laughed. As the evening continued, Kate observed Adam in his element, commanding respect without arrogance, showing genuine interest in everyone he spoke with, from wealthy donors to catering staff. When he gave a speech about the Foundation's mission, his passion was evident, and Kate found herself lowering her camera simply to watch him, moved by his sincerity. By the time the last guests departed, Kate's feet ached in her unaccustomed heels, but she was satisfied with the evening's work. She had captured hundreds of images that told the story of the Foundation's impact far better than formal poses could have done. "You were amazing," Adam said, finding her as she packed her equipment. "I've seen you watching the room all night, never missing a moment." "That's my job," Kate replied modestly, "but thank you, it was a beautiful event." "Are you too exhausted for one more stop tonight?" Adam asked. Kate glanced at her watch, nearly midnight. "Depends on the stop." "I want to show you something," Adam said, his expression earnest. "Something important to me." 20 minutes later, Adam's driver pulled up in front of a renovated brick building in a neighborhood Kate knew had once been neglected, but was now revitalizing. A discreet sign read Jensen Community Center. "What is this place?" Kate asked as Adam led her inside. "One of our first Foundation projects," Adam explained. using his keycard to enter. We converted an abandoned recreation center into a safe space for kids to come after school. The interior was modern but warm, colorful murals decorated the walls, and various activity spaces were arranged throughout the large open floor plan. A computer lab, art studio, music room, and small library surrounded a central gathering area. "It's amazing," Kate said sincerely, taking it all in. "But why bring me here now?" Adam took her hand, leading her to a wall covered with photographs. "Because of these," Kate gasped softly. The wall displayed candid photos of children engaged in various activities, playing instruments, building projects, reading, laughing. Each image captured a moment of joy, discovery, or concentration. "I take these," Adam admitted. "Not professionally, of course, but photography has been my hobby since college." Kate turned to him in surprise. "You never mentioned that." "Because you're so talented, I felt a bit intimidated," Adam confessed. "But watching you work these past few weeks, I realized why I was drawn to you from the start. We see the world the same way, looking for those honest moments that tell the real story." Kate studied the photographs with new appreciation. They weren't technically perfect, but they showed an undeniable eye for emotion and connection. "Adam, these are beautiful," she said sincerely. "You have genuine talent, not like yours," he said, "but it's something I love. Something that grounds me when business gets overwhelming, just like these kids do." Kate understood then what he was showing her: not just the center or his photographs, but a piece of himself beyond the CEO persona. This was the man who reads stories to children at birthday parties, who knew the names of every child in his foundation programs, who found joy in capturing moments others might miss. "Thank you for sharing this with me," Kate said softly. Adam turned to face her fully. "Kate, I've been thinking a lot about what you said about our worlds being different, but standing here looking at these photos, I don't think they're as different as you believe." "What do you mean?" "We both value the same things," Adam explained: authenticity, connection, making a difference in children's lives. The trappings might be different: your studio versus my office, your camera equipment versus mine, but at heart, we're looking for the same thing. Kate felt tears pricking her eyes at the simple truth of his words. "You might be right." "I'd like to find out," Adam said, taking both her hands in his. "Properly. Not as a client or a CEO, but just as a man who is falling for an incredibly talented, compassionate woman." Kate's heart swelled. "I'd like that too." When Adam kissed her this time, surrounded by the photographs they both loved in a place that represented his deepest values, Kate knew she was seeing the real man, not the CEO or the billionaire, but just Adam. And she was falling for him too. Over the following months, their relationship deepened as they gradually merged their worlds. Kate continued her children's photography business, but also took on regular work for the Jensen Foundation, documenting their program's impact. Adam surprised her by showing up at her weekend photo shoots occasionally, camera in hand, eager to learn her techniques. For Kate's birthday, Adam gave her a specially designed studio space in a building he owned downtown, larger and more professional than she could have afforded, but still cozy and uniquely hers. In return, she helped him establish a photography program at the community center, teaching children to document their own lives and communities. 6 months after Lily's birthday party, Kate found herself at another celebration, this time a small dinner at Deanne's house where Adam had gathered his closest family members. Kate now knew them all well: Deanne and her daughter Lily, Adam's parents Robert and Alina Jensen, and a couple of cousins who treated Kate like she'd always been part of the family. After dinner, as everyone moved to the living room for coffee, Adam pulled Kate aside into Deanne's small home office. "Is everything okay?" Kate asked, noting his unusual nervousness. "More than okay," Adam assured her. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. "I have something for you." Kate's breath caught as he opened it to reveal a stunning but understated engagement ring, a simple diamond in a vintage setting. "It was my grandmother's," Adam explained, his voice uncharacteristically unsteady. My grandfather took a photo of her every day they were married 52 years. He said he never wanted to forget a single moment with her. Tears filled Kate's eyes as Adam dropped to one knee. Kate Hartman, you've taught me to see beauty in ordinary moments. Before you, I was focused on the big picture business deals, foundation goals, 5-year plans. You showed me that life happens in the small moments, the ones most people miss if they're not paying attention. He took a deep breath. I love you. I want to build a life with you, capturing every precious moment together. Will you marry me? Yes, Kate whispered, her heart overflowing. Yes, absolutely yes. As Adam slipped the ring onto her finger and stood to kiss her, Kate knew their story had only just begun. From an unexpected meeting at a child's birthday party to a love that bridged their seemingly different worlds, they had found in each other not just a partner, but a shared vision, seeing and celebrating life's most authentic moments together. I love you, Kate said against his lips. Not the CEO or the billionaire, just you, my Adam. And I love you, he replied, holding her close. My photographer who showed me how to truly see. When they returned to the living room hand in hand, Lily was the first to spot the ring. Her excited squeal alerted the rest of the family, who erupted in cheers and congratulations. As Deanne hugged her fiercely, she whispered in Kate's ear, I knew at the moment I saw you two together at the birthday party. Some connections are just meant to be captured. Kate smiled, thinking of the photograph that had started it all, a devoted uncle reading to his niece, unaware that the woman behind the camera would change his life forever. Some moments, indeed, were worth capturing for eternity.